हरे कृष्ण वनिता गंधर्विका माता जी, दंडवत प्रणाम। शिला प्रभुपाद की जय, गुरु महाराज की जय। प्रीतिदासी फ्रॉम शार्लोट। हरे कृष्णा। सारी माता जी।
Hare Krishna, Priti Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining and giving us with association every day. Hari Bol.
हरे कृष्णा।
Hare Krishna Mataji, Nandvat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Arvind Das from Chicago. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Arvindaksha Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for joining and giving your association every day. And it is like a very good attendance. Priti Mataji goes first, and then Arvindaksha Prabhuji goes second every day. And it's very nice to hear both of your names. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharajas, and all glories to the assembled devotees. This is Tiffany in Pennsylvania, and yes, I agree, I can't start my morning without hearing Priti Mataji and Arvind Das Prabhuji as well. I miss them if they ever don't make it, so I'm glad to hear them. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Tiffany Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Welcome to the call. Thank you so much for joining every day and giving us sweet association. Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. Is there anybody who would like to introduce themselves?
हरे कृष्ण माता जी, दंडवत प्रणाम। Go ahead, माता जी।
No, Mataji, you go ahead. Sorry.
That's okay.
Okay. Hare Krishna, Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Antaranga Seva Devi Dasi from Chicago.
Hare Krishna, Antaranga Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining. Hari Bol.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी, दंडवत प्रणाम। Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to the assembled devotees. Yashamati from Chicago.
Hare Krishna, Yeshumati Mataji. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining every day and giving your sweet association in all the calls and beautiful chants.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharajas. My humble obeisances to you and all the devotees. This is Krishna Kumari Devidasi from Rani.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Kumari Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining every day and giving your sweet association. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Guru Maharajas. This is Aditi Devi Dasi from Canada.
Hare Krishna, Aditi Devi Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining, and all glories to your service. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvi Mataji, Dandavat Pranam to you and all Vaishnavas. Srila Prabhupada Jai Vrinda.
Hare Krishna, Vrinda Gopika Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Dandavat Pranams. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj and all the assembled Vaishnavas. This is Kirtina Sundari Dasi.
Hare Krishna, Kirtida Sundari Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining. Nice to hear your sweet voice in the morning, Mataji. Hari Bol.
हरे कृष्णा, विनीता गंधर्विका माताजी, दंडवत प्रणाम। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, महाराज की जय। दिस इज श्यामा गौरी देवीदासी फ्रॉम शार्लेट।
Hare Krishna, Shyam Gauri Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Nice to see you, Mataji, and thank you so much for all the services that you do for us. Hari Bol. Welcome to the
Please
call.
pray for me, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji, of course, we are praying for your father. Hari Bol.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. This is Varna from Atlanta, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Vardhana Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you so much, Mataji, for your sweet association. Thank you so much for your beautiful posters that we see every day on the group. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam to you and all the assembled devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Raj from Canada.
Hare Krishna, Raj Prabhuji. Welcome to the call. Thank you so much for your sweet association every day in the call and beautiful chanting. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Prabhupada. All glories to Guru Maharaj.
All glories to assembled devotee. This is Mohini Lakshmi from Detroit.
Hare Krishna, Mohini Lakshmi Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining and giving your association. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. This is Varsha from Charlotte.
Hare Krishna, Varsha Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining and giving us with association and very beautiful chanting every day. Hari Bol. Is there anybody who would like to introduce themselves, or we'll start?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Yeah, Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and all the assembled devotees. This is Indulekha Karuna Devi Dasi from Lincoln. Sorry, Prabhuji. Please go ahead.
Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for all your and thank you. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam Mataji. This is Srinivas from India, Hyderabad. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and all glories to assembled devotees. Please accept my humble obeisances.
Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for joining and giving your association. Hare Krishna. We'll start the recording, Mataji. Hare Krishna, I welcome everybody to Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call. Today we are very fortunate to have His Grace Sanatana Dharma Prabhu to enlighten us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam chapter 19 verse 15. Before I hand over the call to Prabhuji, I would like to request Aditi Devi Mataji to give a brief introduction on today's speaker. Hari Bol. Mataji, over to you.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Guru Maharaj. This is a brief introduction for His Grace Sanatana Dharma Prabhuji. Sanatana Dharma Prabhuji is a brahmachari from ISKCON, Pune. He is a disciple of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj and has been practicing Krishna consciousness for more than 12 years. Prabhuji is a B.Tech graduate from NIT Trichy and has worked as a senior manager with Tata Motors in the past. He currently serves as an area management and project development head for the Pune region. He is a counselor, youth, and corporate preacher, congregation preacher, secretary at Voice Organization, and also a remote mentor for NVCC Pune Temple. Prabhuji knows and preaches in many languages, including English, Hindi, Tamil, Malayalam, Bengali, Marathi, Telugu, and Japanese. Over to you, Mataji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Sanatana Dharma Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for your valuable time and association this morning. We are very fortunate to have you on the call. See, Prabhu, usually I do greeting service on Friday. Somehow I came on Wednesday and you are there on Wednesday. I'm so happy. I got opportunity to serve you. Hari Bol.
Actually, Friday is Gaur Purnima and also Holi celebration. So one of the colleges had invited me as a chief guest for the Holi celebration. And that's why I said, well, I cannot be serving. So then they said, well, then you should be coming on some other day. Then I was asked for Wednesday and I just agreed for Wednesday. Okay, so I'm just reading out a chat that is there by Raj Prabhu. Hare Krishna. And Prabhu is happy if the videos are on. So Vaishnava is happy and bestows more mercy. So I humbly request you all to please turn on your videos so that I remain enthusiastic and very conscious when I'm running some insignificant service to all of you. All right, so it's a humble request. Please turn on videos for those whom it's possible. Meanwhile, we'll recite our prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin iti namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Deshataride Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhobhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam panghum langayate girim. Yat kripatamaham vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Shri Chaitanyameshwaram Paramananda Madhavam. Hare Krishna. It's indeed a great pleasure to be with all of you in all of your association on this Wednesday, unexpectedly. Like everything happens, nothing happens by chance. That's what we hear, right? Nothing happens by chance. Everything is a wonderful arrangement of Lord. And today we are arranged to associate with each other to discuss Srimad Bhagavatam and be Krishna conscious. I was just hearing something very amazing. What I've done is now I got a smartphone. Finally, what to do? I was not intending to buy a phone at all. So I asked for Dakshina, begging, and I got a smartphone. Reason being is the temple ported to 4G SIM, and that was not working with my simple phone. And the pride of being a simple sadhu was crushed by Krishna. And each time I used to take out my phone, I used to feel so bad. I'm no more that austere sage.
Prabhuji, you can use it in Krishna's service.
I'm not qualified, Mataji. My senses are not controlled.
Yeah, I will be happy because it's very difficult for me from WhatsApp to email. So
yeah, but WhatsApp is not allowed in our temple for brahmacharis.
No,
yes,
doesn't matter.
so
Doesn't
that facility
matter. I can send a message, and whenever you're possible, you can.
Yes, message is possible. So what I was telling is, I thought like I need to make good use of this phone. So I installed the Gita base, etc., and made it a habit before I start my japa, especially just before starting japa. I would be just taking out whatever from 1 to 12, whatever I'm inspired. Okay, say 1, then 1, first canto, then 1 to 19. Okay, any chapter, say 5th chapter. And then in that, any number of any verse, I would just click any verse and just read the verse and purport quickly, just to set my consciousness. And I was reading this really amazing thing. I was reading Srila Prabhupada mentioning in this purport. Srila Prabhupada said, Shrinvata Swakata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Hridyantastohi Abhadrani Vidunoti Suhrit Satam. This is a very famous verse. So Prabhupada was quoting it in the purport and saying that even if the listener of Bhagavatam does not understand a word of Bhagavatam, and even if the speaker of Srimad Bhagavatam does not understand a word of what he's speaking, in either ways, they will be purified. Purified of what? Purified of the mentality to enjoy matter. Yes, that mentality will be purified. That is what Krishna does. So this was a very inspiring point. And that's a hope-giving point also. Excuse me. Mainly why hope-giving? Because most of the stuff that we, at least in my case, I speak, I've not realized that. And I'm not even quite, in one sense, conversant with the knowledge. We just repeat whatever we hear from superiors. That's what happens, right? So even if I don't understand what I'm repeating or I don't understand what I'm hearing, we still get purified. That's such a great hope. Yes, such a great hope. In fact, in Srila Prabhupada's times, there was a gentleman who walked in and looked at Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavatam class, and he told Srila Prabhupada, Swamiji, your disciples, 95% of the time they're sleeping in the class. Prabhupada said, then they're hearing for 5%, right? They heard for 5% and they've dedicated their life. So you can just see their dedication. Prabhupada would always encourage his disciples this way. Right? So 5% of hearing could produce such a powerful surrender from their hearts, then what to speak of 100%. And Srila Prabhupada himself would recall his days as a grihastha. He would sit and be hearing from Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And Saraswati Thakur's English vocabulary was much more than Shakespeare's vocabulary. And the kind of intellectual and technical lectures that he would speak is not, it's not something that a lay person can understand. And Srila Prabhupada admits out of great humility that it would be a really great struggle for him to sit through the classes, but still he would sit and hear, for the transcendental sound vibration is always purifying. Pravishta karna rindrena swanam bhava saroruham dhunoti shamalam krishna shalilasya atha sharat. That's always very purifying. Right. So we are in Canto 5, Chapter 19, and hopefully the verse given to me is 15, right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Thank you. So this chapter 19 is called a description of the island of Jambudvip. That's what we have been doing so far. Now, finally, there are different Varshas explained. And finally, there's a Varsha of Kim Purush Varsha, which is explained initially. We have all done that. And the deity of Kim Purush Varsha is, yes, Siyavara Ramachandra Bhagwan ki jai. It's not Ramchandra. Okay. And the leader of the entire yatra of Kim Purush Varsha is Hanuman. Right. So this is something I also got an opportunity to discuss one verse in this. And then later on, what we are going to discuss now are the prayers of the residents of Bharatvarsh. Now, this is very, very relevant for all of us. The prayers of Bharatvarsh. Just to remind all of you who might not be present before, what is Bharatvarsh? We should never think Bharatvarsh means, okay, today's India is called Bharatvarsh. No, it is not so. So this is Jambu Dweep. I'm not going to draw other features. So this is the Jambu Dweep on one of the central islands. It is a central island on the earth. That is on the Bhumi, Bhuloka. It's a central island. And the southern most part is called as Bharatvarsh. Okay. And here is this portion of the borders is the Himalayas. And this Bharatvarsha is again divided into 9 portions. Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 portions like this it's divided into. And the final tip, the tip of this portion is actually what is called this portion. This is called as Bharat Khanda, which is our globe. We call it today the earth, right? This is called as Bharat Khanda. So the entire portion is called as Bharatvarsh. This whole tract of land is called Bharatvarsh. Yeah. In all other parts of the Jambu Dweep, there is that is meant for enjoyment. Yes. If your enjoyment credits get over in the heavens, then you come there and enjoy. And people have 10,000 years and the Yuga is Treta Yuga. But in this tract of land of Bharatvarsh, this is the place where you have Varnashram Dharma going on. This is the place where you have 4 yugas, Satya, Tretur, Dwapar and Kali. And this is the place where you actually create karma. In other places, people are only enjoying karma. This is the place where people create karma, the entire Bharat Varsha. So now, the Bharat Varsha, who exactly are the deities of Bharat Varsha? Anybody? Who knows? Who are the deities? Now we saw the deities of every place, right? Hari Varsha, it is Narsimhadeva. Kim Purush Varsha, it is Lord Ramachandra. Then who is the deity of Bharat Varsh?
Naranarayana.
Yes, it is Naranarayan Rishi. Naranarayana. And they reside in a place called Badrikashram, the upper Himalayas. Yes, here is the place where the deities are there on the borders, upper Himalayas, this portion. Yes, upper Himalayas. So here Naranarayan Rishi resides. And who is the chief devotee who is offering the prayer to Naranarayan Rishi? Who remembers?
Is it Mother Earth?
Narada Muni.
It's Narada Muni, correct. So we are discussing the prayers given by Narada Muni. So Narada Muni worships Naranarayan Rishi as Om Namo Bhagavate Upashamashilayo Paratanamatyaya Namo Kinchana Vittaya Rishibhyaha Naranarayana Paramahamsa Paramagurave Atma Ramadhipataye Namo Nama Iti. This is the prayer that he recites. So first he gives the invocation, and then second prayer he tells that Naranarayan Rishi, you're the supreme witness. Yes. And the 13th sloka, in the 13th sloka of this chapter, he tells what is the perfection of one's life to attain fixity in the meditation at your lotus feet of Naranarayan Rishi. That is the perfection of life. Then what did we discuss in the yesterday's verse? Hopefully you all have discussed. That is 14th verse. The 14th verse, it is said that in case one is engaged in Krishna consciousness, but is really afraid of giving up one's body. That means at the same time one has bodily attachment. Is Krishna conscious? At the same time our bodily attachment is there, then our Shastric study is very superficial and theoretical. Yes, that was the theme of yesterday's class. And today's theme. So today's theme, what is going to happen? Today's theme, honestly, very honestly, as a playing the role of a sadhaka, although we need to understand, Narada had what type of body? What does he tell to Vyasdev? Anyone knows what kind of body he had?
Transcendental body?
Yes, obviously a transcendental body. Ravana was traveling in the sky. Narayana, 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 like that he was going. And there Ravan was there. Ravan was below with a very frowning face, very sad. He was present there. And he looked at Narada. Narada, you're so happy and I'm so morose. He analyzed, this Narada Muni is a brahmachari. I am not only just grahastha, I have all beautiful women all across the world with me, but still I'm not happy. This Narada just has a kaupin and a dhoti, is a loin cloth and a dhoti. That's his only position. And of course, his veena. But I am Ravan. I have the wealth of all the demigods. But still, this fellow is more happy and I am totally miserable. I have so many associates, ministers, followers, soldiers. This fellow doesn't have anything. He doesn't even have a home to stay. But still, he is happy. Thus, let me go and check with him. How can I be happy like him? So he goes to Narada Muni and he says, Narada Muni, please accept my obeisances. How come you're so happy? He said, I'm happy because I practice a system called Raja Yoga. And then Ravan says, can you please teach me Raja Yoga? Narada Muni says, no, I cannot teach you. He says, why? Why I cannot teach you? Why you can't teach me? Because you are an envious demon. You're Asura. That's why I cannot teach you. Ravana took out a sword. Hey, you called me. You will not teach me. And he swings his sword and the sword just passes through the body of Narada Muni and cuts off Ravana's head. That's what happens. His head gets cut off. But somehow Ravana had a benediction that he could regenerate his head. And that's how the head was regenerated. But actually what happened? He cut his own body. Then he was like, after some time, he figured out of what happened. My God, Narada Muni, nothing happened to him. Then he asked, how come? How come it is that nothing happened to you? And my head got cut. Because Narada said, that's because I have a spiritual body. How to get a spiritual body? You can get a spiritual body by performing Raj Yoga, which I'm not going to tell you. Hare Krishna, bye-bye. And then Hare Krishna, he just flies in the sky, chanting Narayan, Narayan. So the whole point is Narada Muni had a transcendental body, and then thus he cannot have attachment to the bodily concept of life. So we need to understand that he's creating templates for all of us to pray. So whenever acharyas sing any songs, they are creating templates. We have now word templates, Excel templates, PowerPoint templates. So like that, Bhagavatam is all prayer templates. They're templates for us to take and utilize and sing it in Lord's service. And such kind of service is called as Vandanam. Vandanam is that service that we perform when we repeat the prayers of the previous acharyas. That is called as Vandanam. Yes, Vandana, Vandana Karna. So we get templates like that. So now last verse spoke the fact that if one is attached to the bodily concept of life, we are living in the bodily concept of life, then when a Krishna consciousness remains theoretical. So what to do about it? How exactly can we get rid of that attachment? That is something that is discussed in the sloka that is allotted to us today. Yeah. It's a really important sloka and a very beautiful sloka. The thing is, I'm not able to share the screen somehow.
Should we share, Prabhuji?
Can you see?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Tanna prabhotvam kukalevararpitam tvanmayayamam matam dadhokshaja bindyamayanashu vayam sudurbitam videhi yogam tvairasvabhavamiti. Hare Krishna. The prayer is so amazing. Let's just analyze this prayer. So he's admitting a fault in the last verse. Now he's saying, therefore, Tannaha. Hey Prabhu, hey Supreme Lord, Naranaran Rishi Prabhu, Tannaha, our body. So our Tannaha, Kukalevar arpitam. So Kalevar means what? Kalevar means body. He is calling this body as ku. And whenever in Sanskrit, you prefix something with ku, ku means bad. And su means good. So we say subuddhi. Subuddhi means good intelligence. Kubuddhi means corrupted intelligence. Got it? So ku and su. This is the way we prefix things. So he's calling this as ku kalevara arpitam. That means that the exact thing that he's meaning to say is how this body is abominable. Especially this body is abominable because it's made up of stool and urine. That is the way this body is made up of. But still, we know this fact. Everybody knows this fact. Materialists know this fact. Devotees know this fact. Everybody knows this fact that this body is made of stool and urine. This is ku kalevara. Yes. We also have experience of this body being something which is kleshada. Klesh means misery. And klesha, that's like just like we have narada. Narada means one who gives narayan to others. Kleshada means that which gives misery to oneself and others. So it's called kleshada. But still, twan maya aham mamatam. See, you are maya. This illusory energy of yours, twan maya, it is something that bewilders us. That's why she's there. Yes, she is there existing to bewilder everybody. And how does she bewilder? By making us have this conception of aham and mamatam. I and mine. This is me. This body is me. And these things connected to this body are mine. So this I and mine concept. The concept of I and mine. So this is what the Maya confuses us with. We get bewildered with this. Now, Prabhupada, in one of the purports, he gives a very nice meaning or an elaboration to this aham and mamiti. Now, this aham mama. Mama is a sense of proprietorship. And I is a sense of being someone big. Aham. I am someone great. I am someone big. I am someone amazing. Yes, this is aham. And usually it is the karmis who have this mama, possess proprietorship mentality. This land is mine. This house is mine. All these objects are mine. All these people are mine. What is that? This is the propensity of a karmi. So karmi usually has this aham tendency. Yes, and that's what was yes, mama tendency, mine. On the other hand, Prabhupada says it's the jnani who has this aham tendency. Because jnani thinks, so aham, he says, so aham, I am that, I am great, I am liberated. Yes. So aham, I am big, I am great. That tendency is there in a jnani. Right? So we find that this is how this aham and mameti, mama is more in karmis, proprietorship mentality, and the jnanis have the tendency of aham, I am big, I am great. So that tendency is there in the jnanis. So this we understand. So both these people are bewildered by Maya. It is Maya who is bewildering both of them. Aham and mamati. And what about us? We have both the tendencies. Karmis have mama, jnanis have aham, and we have both. Kya kare? Janasya mohoyam aham mameti. We have both these tendencies somehow. Right? So, hey adokshaja, adha akshaja. This word adoksha, Lord is addressed by this word adokshaja. The meaning of this is one who is beyond the material senses. Is called adokshaja. Yes, adokshaja. Oh, adokshaja. Bindyama, please understand, I want to give up. I want to give up this tendency of aham mameti. I want to give up this Maya. Yes, giving up of Maya. I'm honestly admitting that I want to resign from the job of Maya. So far, lifetimes after lifetimes, I have been serving Maya faithlessly, but I want to drop my resignation. Enough is enough. Bindyama, I means I want to resign. Why you want to resign? Yes. Please understand first that what I'm going to do is very, very difficult. It is sur durbidam. It is very difficult to give up. It is very, very difficult for us to give up this kind of attachment to body. Now, there are various means by which people, they do meditate. Like we see the example of Saubhari Muni. Saubhari Muni was meditating for quite a long time underneath the waters, leading a very austere life. And he was so much doing such austerities. And the purpose of doing austerity is to go beyond the bodily concept of life. And that is the reason we also do Ekadashi. Why do we do Ekadashi Vrat? Yes, some of them do Nirjal, some of them do Sajal, some of them do as Safal with fruits, some of them do Nirlaj. In Hindi, Nirlaj means shameless. So there is Nirjal Ekadashi and there is Nirlaj Ekadashi. So all types the people do, devotees do. But what is the purpose of doing Ekadashi? Upavasa. Upavas means what? Upa means coming near and Vas means to stay. So Upavas means to stay near Lord. That's called Upavas. Yes. And another objective of Upavas is that we reduce our eating, we reduce our sleeping on that day. We reduce our bodily needs to come out of the bodily concept of life. Yeah. To come out of the bodily concept of life is the goal for which we perform such kind of vratas and upavasas. Correct? To move out. That's why now Gaur Purnima is coming. In 2 days we are celebrating Gaur Purnima. Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki Jai. And we see that Mahaprabhu appears when? The appearance of the moon. Moonrise. That's when Mahaprabhu appears. So we need to understand that till then what Vaishnavas do? Till then we fast. Yes, till then why we fast? To come out of the bodily concept of life and to enter into Krishna conscious concept of life. To give up the Maya's concept of Aham Mama and to be with Krishna. That Krishna, I am your Sarvasva Tomara Charane Sampiya Podechi Tomara Ghare. I want to give up everything and be with you. That is why we fast. We are always conscious, oh, today I'm fasting because, today is Gaur Purnima. I'm fasting today because today is Ram Navami. Today I'm fasting because Madhavendra Puri's appearance. So whatever, we are completely conscious of that day. You get it, no? We are conscious of the Acharya or we are conscious of Lord. That is why we fast. So we don't become we are God conscious. That's why we fast. No, we fast and become God conscious. You get it? That's what happens for us. When we fast, we are fasting conscious. Come on, I'm not eating. Why I'm not eating? Okay, because there is Gaur Purnima. Okay, so that fasting is making us God conscious. That's what happens to all of us. Right? So, Bindhyama Sudurbitam, that which is very difficult to give up. My God, we can just imagine Parikshit Maharaj sitting without any prasadam, water or rest for 7 days. What if we were told to do the same thing? For us, even 7 hours is too much. We can't even fast for 7 hours. 7 days without water. Impossible. That means how attached are we to the bodily concept of life? I'm not talking about giving up breathing, which Dhruv Maharaj did. I'm just talking about staying without food for some time. In fact, it's 7 minutes the class goes. About time sometimes we start seeing, come on, what happened to the watch? Yeah, my watch is working. Just wondering if that fellow's watch is working, the speaker. He's not stopping, he's continuing. So then sometimes devotees come, even some places they drop chit. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, you may take for another 2 minutes. Which means what? End in 2 minutes. It's very difficult, right? Prasadam, we are all attached. So much attached to this body. We understand. We have to. I'm not saying that to go beyond the bodily concept of life, we torture the body. No, that's not what I'm saying. What we are analyzing is how conscious we are of this body and how much we are attached to the bodily needs. It is there. To eating, to sleeping, yes, and all other kinds of gratifications. It is there. So it is sudurbidam. It is very, very difficult for us to give up. It's very difficult. So they are praying, Videhi yogam tvai. Please give unto us that special yoga. Tvainaha swabhavam iti. By which we can focus on your particular nature, swabhava. So that is what the prayer is. The admittance is there that I am attached to this temporary and abominable body. But it's now only by your blessings. When you gift us with that special yoga, that is when we will actually be able to come out of the bodily conception of life. Can someone please read the translation?
Yeah. Therefore, O Lord, O transcendence, kindly help us by giving us the power to execute Bhakti Yoga so that we can control our restless mind and fix them upon you. We are all infected by your illusionary energy. Therefore, we are very attached to the body, which is full of stool and urine and to anything related with the body except for devotional service. There is no other way to give up this attachment. Therefore, kindly bestow upon us this benediction.
Yeah. We don't have to discuss about karmis. Karmis, or those who are attached to karma kanda, definitely they're attached to the body. The whole reason they are performing karma kanda is that they get better bodies to enjoy better sense gratification. That is the whole purpose. And examples of Gyanis, we have somebody like Saubari Muni. Yes. These are the people who are having a lot of knowledge, doing a lot of austerities, but still they fell back to the sense gratificatory pursuits. He went to Mandata king and asked the king for his daughter for marriage. And then later on, he married all the 50 daughters of Mandata king. That's what we understand. Right? So we see here they also could not go. Vishwamitra Muni, 60,000 years of tapasya. And still he fell for Menaka. Yes, he fell for Menaka, and then that is something that he actually indulged with her sexually. And Shakuntala was born. So we see in the Shastras that karmis, jnanis, yogis, for all three of them, it's very, very difficult to give up the bodily concept of life. They are not able to go beyond the bodily concept of life. And that is why Prabhupada says this yoga which they are asking for is only Bhakti Yoga. It is not any other yoga. Because it's only through Bhakti Yoga one can give up the bodily attachment. On the other hand, let us look at some Bhakti Yogis. Let's look. The famous example is our Haridas Thakur. Hari Bol. Haridas Thakur was tested twice. Once by the very famous prostitute and second by Maya Devi herself. Both of them tested Haridas. And what did Haridas Thakur do? Haridas Thakur, instead of falling as a victim, Haridas Thakur made them to chant Hare Krishna, and he left the place and went ahead. Of course, we should never be doing this. So someone asked me, Prabhuji, so sometimes we are also attacked by Maya. So should we preach and make Maya Krishna conscious? I said, no. For us, there is another story in the Puranas. Once what happened, in one Purana, there's a story, there were a group of sages. They were sitting and doing their sadhana. And suddenly, chung, 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 one Apsara came from heavens. And all the sages didn't do anything. They just caught their dhotis. 1, 2, 3, run! They just ran away from that place. That is something we should do. That is practical for us. Hare Krishna, we should not try to don't become Haridas Thakur. Yes, we should not be Haridas Thakur. We should appreciate and worship Haridas Thakur. But when we face such tempting situations, we should catch our dhoti and run away. Yes. So we don't preach to Maya. We are in Maya. That's what Srila Prabhupada's disciples were sometimes asking. Prabhupada, sometimes we go to Maya. Prabhupada said, what did you say? Sometimes you are with Krishna, you are always in Maya. Please understand. Yes, so that was one thing. And second thing, we need to understand that just analyze this particular body. Yes, now the body, this body. Many of you are fortunate. Why you are fortunate? Because the body has already started growing old. Hairs have all become white. But when the hairs are jet black, the body is perfect, there is no wrinkles and it's perfectly shaped, looking very smart and cute. When the body is like that, then there is a lot of attachment. There's a lot of attachment to the body and spending so much of time, just taking care of this body. But what exactly is this body? The skin, it is said the skin is just 1 nanometer thick. The skin is 1 nanometer thick. And we just remove that skin, then there won't be any difference between anybody's body. But the Maya Devi does packaging so nicely. Yes, that body which is made of stool and urine, everyone's body is made of stool and urine. It's packaged very nicely with very nice, something called skin. So that is why Srila Prabhupada says that the problem here is everyone has a skin disease. Yes. Some of them show their skin and the others get attracted to the skin. But minus the skin, what is the beauty of this body? Nothing. That person will no longer be attractive. Yes, but this skin is something that is cheating all of us. That is why it's called Maya. Packaged so nicely. And another thing, even the beauty is distorted very easily. You can easily distort the beauty. Correct? Imagine there's a very beautiful person with a beautiful smile. Just break one teeth in the middle. Take the one teeth. Will that person be attractive? Gone. Somebody having very beautiful hair. Yes, just take a trimmer and take off the hair only here. That's it. Will the beauty remain? Finished. It's over. Just a little bit, 1 inch and it's finished. The beauty is gone. Yeah. Everything is beautiful about the body. But just take off one eye. Will that person be beautiful? No. So see what kind of beauty is there. Now, one may ask why the beauty is there in this world. Yes, why the beauty is there? I'll tell you. Can I tell very frankly? Because I do see the birth. I'll tell. What is there? We have to speak the truth. How many of you seen young ones of kitten? You have seen kitten? Young ones of dog, puppies. Yes? And then how many of you seen piglets, chota, calves? So all the young ones of any animals, even pigs, they're very cute. You agree? Agree? You don't agree? That means you're not seeing or you're not participating, you're not paying attention. Yes, they're all very cute. Why they are made cute? Answer is given in Shastras. They are made cute so that they get attention. They are made cute so that they get shelter. Similarly, the opposite sex is also made very cute so that they get shelter. That's it. That is the reason. And the moment the shelter is given, then the cuteness is also taken away. This is the reality of life. So if you look around, we'll see this reality. Hare Krishna. Hari. So this is our glorious material body. Thank you. Srila Prabhupada saved me first. I am not, at least I'm fighting towards getting out of this bodily concept of life. Yes, the skin disease, which is there. Hare Krishna. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. The Lord advises in Bhagavad Gita, Man mana bhava mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. That means always, man mana, with your mind always think of me, bhava mad bhakto, become my devotee, madhyaji, worship me and offer my obeisances unto me. Now this is one shloka which Krishna says is Guhya Taragyana, the topmost knowledge. There is nothing beyond this. The 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna summarizes his Bhagavad Gita by talking about 3 types of knowledge. Guhya Gyan, Guhya Taragyan and Guhya Tamagyan. That means confidential knowledge, more confidential knowledge, most confidential knowledge. The confidential knowledge is about soul. More confidential knowledge is about super soul. And the most confidential knowledge is about bhakti, this verse. And this is one verse in Bhagavad Gita which is repeated 2 times. It comes in 9th chapter as well as in 18th chapter. Why Krishna repeats? Not because he's forgotten, that I already mentioned it, because it's very important. That's why it repeats. And that's the instruction. The perfect yoga system consists of always thinking of Krishna, always engaging in devotional service, always worshipping Krishna, and always offering obeisances unto him. Always. Now Prabhupada has added this always in 4 places, which means as far as possible, maximum the opportunity we get, we should be doing this. Yes. So how many of you like mangoes? You all don't like mangoes, I guess. What do you like then? Please tell me what you like. It's not that I'm going to parcel you something. I'm not going to transport that. I'm just asking for my curiosity. Okay. Now, if the people are remembering, yes, Prabhu, we like mangoes. We just forgot. We're back. All right. So I'm going to tell you, because many of them ask this question. Yes, many ask this question. Prabhuji, we are in Grihastha life. Prabhuji, we are having job. We are having so many chores to do. How exactly can we always be Krishna conscious? Always, 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 always. How always? How to do it? So therefore that there is a story, mango story that I'm going to tell. Suppose somebody comes, and in India it is very famous. It's called Ambechi Peti. That means you get boxes of mangoes, not just one mango, two mango. You get boxes, and the box comes to you. Some very good friend in the village you have, they will be very compassionate to send you, and we get boxes of mangoes. And then as soon as the box comes, we take it personally, hide it from everybody else, put it in some locker bureau, and then, get a very nice, of course, I'm going to tell you the exact procedure. Get a vessel full of water and soak the mangoes in water. You directly eat the mangoes, you're finished. Your entire system is going to heat up and you're going to have continuous motions the next day. So don't do that. Take a bowl of, take a vessel full of water and soak 3, 4, 5, 6 mangoes and then go boil the dough. Yes. Offer it to Krishna silently and then slowly keep relishing that nectar of mango. And suddenly there's a battering on the road. Tuck, 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 tuck. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hey, Hare Krishna, hide everything, hide everything. Okay. Next. Yes. And you're just waiting why this fellow has come. Let this guy go now. Please go fast. You're telling, yeah, sure. Okay. And then you just check that fellow leaves. What do you do? Again, bolt the door, come back, keep relishing the mango. Then again, there's a tuck, battering on the door. And you say, why is that? Again, you go. And another person has come. Okay, all right. Okay. Fine. Bye. Finish. We do that. We do the necessary job and again come back and release the mangoes. Suddenly you get a phone call. And that's something they want a video call. A video. I said, can we make audio call? No, video only. Had it been audio call, I would, yeah. Tell me, I could do that. But it's a video call. I have to be here. And you just wait for the video call to get over. And then again, go back to your mango. So for us, that mango is Manmana, Bhavamat Bhakto, Madhyaji, Mam Namaskuru. And in worldly life, there will be such kind of interruptions, which will come time to time. But our goal is to go back to the mango. We should meditate and crave for going back to the mango. And if we are doing that, then we are actually living this verse of Manmana, Bhavamat Bhakto, Madhyaji, Mam Namaskuru. Yes, we will do all our duties because that's also given by Krishna. We'll do our work nicely. We'll do our duties to our family. We'll do our duties to children. We'll do our duties to the society. Yes, whatever is prescribed, we'll do it. But ultimately, we want to finish that. And where do we want to go? To that place where we have stored our mango. They're soaked in that vessel. They're ready, offered to Krishna already. We just wait to go there and feast on that mango. This is the taste that we want to develop. Right? This is the taste that we should hanker to develop. Back to the purport. Unless we practice this yoga system, our illusory attachment for this bad body, I just want to comment here only. It's called dead body actually. Prabhupada's lecture, 2nd chapter of Bhagavad Gita. How many of you heard? You all have practice of hearing Prabhupada's lecture? I'm instructed to hear every day Prabhupada's lecture. It's very important because Prabhupada gives convincing punches. So he says in one of his 2nd chapter Bhagavad Gita lectures, the body is actually dead. Yeah. Because it's dead, it stinks. Anything rotten will stink, right? That is why we have to apply soaps and perfumes and so many things because the body is dead. It's a dead body that we maintain. No, I'm so sorry. I'm speaking the truth in the classes and actually giving punches. But this is all fact. The body is rotting. That is why it stinks. And because of that, that is the reason for which we have to keep putting soaps and all these things so that the body doesn't stink. We have to take bath. Some of them 2 times, some of them 3 times. Some of them say we take bath 3 times. Not because they are following Vedic rituals, because the body stinks. Nobody will come near. This is a dead body. It's a bad body. It's fact. which is full of stool and urine, is impossible to give up. Just can you see how attached we are despite knowing this fact? We don't want to give up. I remembered a verse from Bhagavatam, which I would like to show all of you, and then we'll come back to the purport. Vadanti Vishwam. Vadanti Vishwam Kavayasmanashwaram. Yes, I got it. This comes in the last chapter only. If you want to hear liquid beauty, I can tell you that also. Vadanti Vishwam Kavayasmanashwaram Pashyanti Chatyatma Vidho Vipaschita Tatapi Muhyanti Tavajmayaya Suvismitam Krityamajam Natosmyaham. Translation? Can someone read?
Yes, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. O unborn one, learned Vedic scholars who are advanced in spiritual knowledge certainly know that this material world is perishable, as do other logicians and philosophers. In trance, they realize the factual position of this world and they preach the truth as well. Yet, even they are sometimes bewildered by your illusory energy. This is your own wonderful pastime. Therefore, I can understand that your illusory energy is very wonderful, and I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Hare Krishna.
Just see. Thank you. Thank you for reading it. So just see what we are going. The why I made you read this verse is because there is Idam Shariram Parinama Peshalam Mukundamal Stotra. That is also nice. Krishna Rasayanam Piva. They say that. So why I made you read this verse? Why? First thing is they know the truth. They understand the truth. They realize the truth. They preach the truth and still are bewildered. So I really need prayers and blessings of all of you that I don't fall in this category. If I have blessings of all Vaishnavas, definitely it is possible to go beyond this. Preach the truth and still go to Maya. Yes, please. I don't want to be this person. So I need blessings. That's why I made you all read. Coming back to the purport. The perfection of yoga consists of giving up attachment for this body and bodily relationships and transferring the attachment to Krishna. Yes. So now giving up the bodily attachment, yes, that is one thing. The second one is, what about giving up attachment to relatives? How is that? My God, so Prabhupada is telling us to just leave home, give everything. So I'll show you one verse. This is from Teachings of Queen Kunti. Let's see what she says. This is 1:841, I think. Yeah, this is the verse. Ata Vishvesa Vishvatman Vishvamurti Svakeshu me Neha Pashamimam Chindi Dridam Pandushu Vrishnishu. Yes.
O Lord of the universe, soul of the universe, O personality of the form of the universe, please therefore sever my tie of affection for my kinsmen, the Pandavas and the Vrishnis.
Yeah. We'll just read some part of the purport because it's self-explanatory. Yeah, please read this.
The pure devotee of the Lord is ashamed to ask anything in self-interest from the Lord. But the householders are sometimes obliged to ask favors from the Lord, being bound by the tie of family affection. Srimati Kunti Devi was conscious of this fact, and therefore she prayed to the Lord to cut off her affectionate ties to her own kinsmen, the Pandavas and the Vrishnis. The Pandavas are her own sons, and the Vrishnis are the members of her paternal family. Krishna was equally related to both families. Both the families required the Lord's help because both were dependent devotees of the Lord. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. So this is what a pure devotee does. So pure devotee cuts off the limited ties of attraction for his family and widens his activities of devotional service for all forgotten souls. So what a pure devotee does, or a devotee of the Lord does in Krishna consciousness movement, yes, we will expand our family. So what they do is we will expand the family of Vaishnavas. Vasudeva Kutumbakam. That is something that pure devotees do, right? And we transfer the attachment to Krishna. That's what is this verse. This verse is. Please read the entire purport when you get time. I don't have much time to explain. Next. Last one. We are very attached to material enjoyment. But when we transfer that same attachment to Krishna, we traverse the path of liberation. One has to practice this yoga system and none other. So now what we need to understand is whatever attachment we have for this material world, it has to be converted. Whatever that attachment is there, Vishaya Preeti that we have. Bhakti Vinod Thakur plays a beautiful bhajan. We'll sing that for some time and then we'll conclude. Because this is a prayer. That's the only prayer we can offer. This is. So I'll be singing it. You all can follow. Prabhu tava pada yoge murani vedana nahi magi deha sukha vidyadhana jana nahi magi swarga ar moksha nahi magi na kori prarthana kono vibhuti lagi nija karma guna doshe je janma pai जन्मे जन्मे जेनो तव नाम गुण गाय यही मात्र आशा मम तुम्हार चरणे अहै तो की भक्ति हृदय जागे अनुक्षणे. Now this is the verse for which I brought us all to this bhajan. विषय जे प्रीति हबे आछे अमार सेही मत प्रीति हो चरणे तुम्हार. We'll quickly discuss the meaning. Actually, this particular verse, or this particular bhajan of Bhaktivinoda Thakur summarizes the entire class of today. Prabhu tava padayuge, unto your two lotus feet, O Lord, Mura Nivedan, I am making a humble submission. What is that? Nahi magi deha sukha. I'm not asking for bodily pleasures. Neither am I asking for material education, material wealth, or people, materialistic followers. I'm not asking for this. What else I don't want? Nahi mangi swarga. I'm not asking for heavens that is beyond this earth. Moksha nahi mangi. I don't even want liberation. Na kori prarthana kono vibhuti lagi. Neither do I want mystic powers like yogis. So I don't want what karma kandis aspire for, jnanis aspire for, or yogis aspire for. Karmis are rejected here only. Okay. So I don't want to aspire for karma kandis, jnanis, and yogis. Okay. Then what else? Nija karma guna doshe je janma pai. Yes. See, what based on my birth, I have attained a lot of faults. Guna dosha. There are faults and there are also qualities. Both I get in every birth. But janme jeno tava nama gunagaya. I am willing to take birth after birth, but as long and until I am giving the opportunity to recite your holy name. This is my only aspiration. Ei matra asha mam. This is my only aspiration. Tumhara charane, at your lotus feet. Ahaitu bhakti hriday jage anukshane. This is something. This unmotivated, uninterrupted devotion service. This is something that takes one beyond the bodily concept of life. And finally, this is the prayer where I would like to end. Bhajan goes on. Vishaya je priti. Yes, I am having a lot of attraction and affinity for the sense objects of this world. Whatever I have, ebe achay amar, whatever I have, sahi mata priti ho charade tumar. Let all that be transformed. Let all that be transformed, and to add by developing attraction for your lotus feet. This is how Thakur Bhakti offers prayers. So this verses I feel summarize our entire class. So I'd like to conclude here, and if there are any one or two questions, I'd like to take. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dhanva Pranam, Prabhu. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Sorry, Prabhu, you have to bear me again, even though it's not a Friday. I was asked right when the class was starting, oh, somebody is missing. So I said, sure, I'm here. So thank you, Prabhu. What a beautiful class. Amazing, amazing class. Thanks so much for this beautiful bhajan you gave us at the very last. Such a beautiful bhajan. And you sang it so nicely. It's just, you can meditate on these bhajans. Like, so deep knowledge of Bhakti Vinod Thakur, what a beautiful bhajan. Prabhu Tava Pada Yoge. Thank you, thank you. I love that bhajan, Prabhu. And such amazing class, Prabhu, again. Thanks for your services. Dear devotees, if anybody has any questions for Prabhuji, please go ahead. Prabhuji has a short time, as Prabhuji said, so.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances. That was such a wonderful class and wonderful example of that mango which you gave, Prabhuji. Yeah, it's really nice that Manmanavan Bhakto. So, we focus and that should be our goal. It was a beautiful example, Prabhuji. Thank you very much for your association. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. I heard that from my teachers. I just present. Thank you.
It's very, very wonderful example, Prabhu, that we should focus, that should be our goal. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, Diti Mataji. Yes, very beautiful example. Like mango, but I like something else, so I should focus on that.
Yeah, you can, whatever it is.
Varsha Mataji. Please go ahead, Varsha Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Prabhuji, now being we are on the spiritual path, how our trust on this Vastu Shastra and Jyotish Shastra, Prabhuji? Like people say so many things, like without thinking Krishna in center, they say, oh, the south door facing house is not good, the stars are not good. So how our thought should be?
Yes. See, one thing we need to understand that till the time we are not pure devotees, such aspects, because they are also Shastras, they are also science, they will affect us. Yes. And as a householder, as a grihastha, we should be taking these things into consideration. But our dependence is on Krishna. We get it, right? Our dependence is on Krishna. We are not going to depend on these things. These things is something which we will take care for, so or other considerations, for family consideration or something. But ultimately, our dependence, my surrender, that's what is Vasudev Parayan. What is the meaning of Vasudev Parayana? Vasudev Parayan means I live for Vasudev. Get it? So what we should think, well, this as I'm not a pure devotee, this may not, you may be, I don't know. But as we are not pure devotee, this may not affect, this will affect me. And this affects me, this will affect my bhakti. So why we do what we do is very important. Yes, just more than that. Arjuna was told to worship Shiva. Why? Because Krishna told him. So Krishna told Arjuna, you worship Shiva, get the Pashupatastra. So he just followed. Gopis worship Katyayani, demigod worship. No, why? They wanted Katyayani Mahamaye Nanda Sutta Bharta Astu. They want Krishna as their husband. That's why. So when the why we do what we do is clear, then we can remain Krishna conscious even while performing apparently ceremonies or functions or some kind of taking some principles from the sub-religious principles also.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Prabhu, actually, I have one small question. It was bugging me from a few days. It's not related to the class much, but I know you answer so beautifully. I love your classes. Prabhu, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, I'm the time, Kalosmi, right?
Kalosmi.
So time is very auspicious because it's Krishna. What can be auspicious than Krishna? Beautiful. Krishna is just amazing. We all know that. So what is the point to wake up so early and in Brahma Muhurta, which is amazing actually. I experienced it. It's beautiful when you can finish your prayers, chant, remember Krishna in Brahma Muhurta, because after 9-10 when you are in your business and your job, it's a mess, Prabhu. It's very difficult to remember. Like you remember him, but your consciousness is more in the work and colleagues and all that. So why is that important, the Brahma Muhurta, but not all day long where Krishna is time? So can you please answer that, Prabhu?
Same question was asked by Rukmini to Satyabhama to Krishna in the Kartik Mahatmya, in the Padma Purana. She also asks the same thing. Time is equal. Then why is Kartik more auspicious? Time is equal. All days are equal. Then why Ekadashis are more important? So Krishna clearly gives an explanation to this, of how Kartik is very dear to him and how Ekadashi is very auspicious. I can't discuss the whole thing, but through that we understand not all times are equal. We do understand. So now we need to understand what happens to us. We need to understand, for a pure devotee, every Vishwam Purna Sukhayate, whether that person like Srila Prabhupada, whether he's in Vrindavan or he's in Bauri, he's in Butler, Pennsylvania, wherever he is always in Vrindavan, because that's his consciousness. Vishwam Purna Sukhayate Vidhi Mahendradischa Kitade. So that's very clear for him. But when it comes to our case, because we are conditioned souls, this is how our mind operates. Our mind is calm, cool, and collected in those morning hours of Sattva Guna. So although time is equal, it is Kala. It's Kala who is controlling the gunas. Kala karma gunadhino. Prapanchi, Deha Prapanchi. It comes in the beautiful section. Just 1 minute. Dehoyam panchabhutikai katam anyamstu gopetya sarpagrasto yathaparam. So everybody is helplessly controlled by time, by karma, and by the modes. So actually, if you see the relationship, the time operates the modes. So morning time is sattva time, the afternoon time is rajogun time, and the evening time, night time is tamagun time. This we accept, we admit. Okay. So in sattva gun, what happens? It is easier to do our sadhana in that time. So we should take full benefit of that opportunity. And especially Brahma Muhurta. Brahma means great. 1.5 hours before the sunrise. That is a time where the mind completely cooperates with you. So if we do our sadhana that time, we are able to very, very beautifully progress in bhakti. So let's make best choice of the best time when we are conditioned souls. Once we reach the transcendental platform, then every time is same. Haridas Thakur, for him, it was not that my japa is good in the morning, night japas are very struggling. No, he was always relishing his japa. So we are yet to come to that stage because we are Kala Karma Gunadhino. You get it? Does it answer your question?
Yes. That's true, Prabhu. Yes. Even in our prayer, Sansar Davanal, the last verse says, Srimad Guru Ashtamita Duchar Brahma Muhurte Prakti Pratna Yastena Vrindavana Saksha Seva Labhya Jana Sunateva. So that gives us such hope that if we wake up 4:30, Krishna will be there at time of death.
Yes,
Thank you.
There.
Very beautiful, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Dear devotees, if anybody has any questions, please go ahead. Prabhuji has another class. So
I have to leave now.
So you have to leave, Prabhu? Okay. That's good, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
I'll just acknowledge Haritaji's comment. Thank you so much. She took the point of that skin. That's a fact.
Beautiful point. Yes.
Yes. And Lalita Radha Mataji, she said, you delivered all punches smilingly. That's how I do it. Because punches have to be delivered very sensitively. And these are not punches for all of you. You're all wonderful devotees. It's for me. Wonderful explanation of chanting during Brahma Murti Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Thank you, all of you, for giving me an opportunity.
Prabhuji, just 1 minute. Just on a lighter note, I just want to say something. Prabhuji, the very fact that Lord Krishna told Arjuna to worship Lord Shiva is because this is what I feel. It's because Lord Krishna wanted to give opportunity to all the demigods and his devotees to serve Arjuna or the gopis,
Right.
This is the way I think. I don't know.
It is not the way you think. It is the way it is. It's there.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
So your
Thank you,
Shastra, yours is, this is Shastra Vachan. Thank you.
Prabhuji, Lalitangi Mataji has always beautiful comments in the chat box. We don't read because there are so many when you are there. But Lalitangi Mataji has beautiful comments. She can make so beautiful comments that I think she should be like a movie director or something. Her comments are amazing.
Prabhu, it's okay. I mean, it's not much to write one sentence, but Prabhuji has been giving beautiful sentences for an hour. So we are very grateful for this wonderful association, Prabhuji. Your classes remain in our memory for a long time. Thank you. Thank you for the wonderful experience.
Thank you so
Indulekha
much.
Mataji has given the right one. Mataji is amazing poet. Yes.
Yes, that's the quality of Vaishnava, Kavi Daksha Moni.
Oh no.
I really have to leave. There's a battering on the door, and I'm going to be
Let us pay
dragged.
our obeisances to Prabhuji dear devotees.
Yes.
Vancha Gantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Prabhupada ji ki jai. Sanatana Dharma Prabhu ji ki jai. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Hare
Thank you.
Krishna.
Thank you.
Radhe,
Thank
Radhe.
you. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. We'll continue with our parikrama today. Vinita Mataji, you want to make the announcement?
Yes, Mataji.
Padmasakhi Mataji is on the call. But...
Yes, parikrama is there, Mataji.
Mataji, I am there on the call. Can you just give me, if you don't mind, just 2 minutes?
Sure, Mataji.
Thank you.
Mataji. It was a very beautiful class. You can wait for 2 minutes for Mataji to join. Thank you everyone for joining every day, giving your association. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Shruti Mataji, for your wonderful comment.
Until Mataji comes, if anyone wants to chant a small bhajan or something.
Yeah, Mataji is there, Mataji.
Okay.
Dina Krishna is there.
Yeah.
Dina Krishna, do you want to sing bhajan?
He needs to go to school. I don't know. That's time.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
I need to go to school. Okay. Go to school.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Saroja Nandini Mataji, are you free? Would you like to sing something? Oh, she left the call now. Hare Krishna, Krishna. Yes, Mataji, please go ahead and sing, Mataji. Anita Mataji, please go ahead.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Am I audible, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, Hare Krishna. So this is the Nityananda Raya song. So it says about our dear Nityananda Prabhu. Akrudha Paramananda Nityananda Raya Abhimana Shunya Nitai Nagare Bedhaya Akrudha Paramananda Nityananda Raya Abhimana Shunya Nitai Nagare Bedhaya अधमपतित जीवेरा द्वारे द्वारे गिया हरि नाम महामंत्र बिचने भिलाया अधमपतित जीवेरा द्वारे द्वारे गिया हरि नाम महामंत्र बिचने भिलाया जारे देखे तारे कहे दंते तृणधारी हमारे किनियाला बल गौरहारी जारे देखे तारे कहे दंते तृणधारी हमारे किनियाला बल गौरहारी येते बलि नित्यानंद भूमे गडिचिया सोनार पर्वत जेना डुलाते लोटाया येत बलि नित्यानंद भूमे गडी जाया सोनार पर्वत जेना डुलाते लोटाया एने अवतारे जारा रति न जन्मीला लोचना भले से पापी हेल आर गेला हेने अवतार जारा रति न जन्मीला लोचना भले से पापी हेल आर घेला अक्रोध परमानंदा नित्यानंद राया अभिमान शून्य निताय नगरे भेड़ाया जय नित्यानंद राय नित्यानंद राय नित्यानंद राय जय नित्यानंद राय जय नित्यानंद राय नित्यानंद राय नित्यानंद राय जय नित्यानंद राय हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि हरि बोल Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Anita Mataji, for such a beautiful singing. Thank you so much. I guess Padmasaki Mataji need more time. Padmasaki Mataji is not on.
Thank you, Mataji.
Is there anybody who would like to go ahead and sing one more bhajan?
Mataji, I'm ready.
You're ready? Okay. Please go ahead, Mataji.
Sorry, Mataji. Today, all of us are a little bit sick. Kids are sick. Got little late.
Hare Krishna, Padmasaki Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for taking us every day to Navadvip Mandala Parikrama. We are very fortunate. Please take over the call, Mataji. Very well.
I am so extremely sorry to keep you all waiting, Mataji. I'm so sorry.
That's okay, Mataji.
Fine, Mataji, we can understand.
I'll share my screen. Mataji, I'm sharing screen. Just give me. 5 or 6. I think 6. Today is a very, very interesting place. Yesterday we ended at Madhyadvip. Today we will go to Koladvip. Okay, yeah, okay. Firstly, please, I sincerely apologize that I made you wait for almost 10 minutes. We will start without any delay. We will go to Koladvip. So today Navadvip, the present Navadvip city that we are seeing, that belongs to Koladvip. Before we begin our parikrama, we'll seek the blessings of Shri Panchatattva, Shri Nityananda, Shri Gauranga, Shri Radha Madhav, Shri Narsinghadev, and all the assembled devotees. Sorry, all the Acharya, Srila Prabhupada, and all the assembled devotees. We'll start. So we started at Antardvip, then we went to Simantadvip, then Godrumadvip, then yesterday we saw Madhyadvip. Today we will be seeing Koladvip. Koladvip is a little bit longer. Let's see. So Koladvip represents Padasevana, serving the lotus feet. So what happens yesterday in Madhyadvip, the last place that we have seen was Panchaveni. So after Panchaveni, we enter Koladvip. So what happened here, the Varaha Avatar, it's called Varaha Kshetra also because Varaha Avatar has appeared here. We have seen that the Lord has appeared in 4 yugas in this Navadvip. So he came as Varaha Avatar also, appeared at Koladvip. So what happened was, this place is also known as Kulia Pahada. It's another place where Gauranga Mahaprabhu's pastimes has happened, and Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes, kindly bless this most insignificant person and allow me to reside in Navadvip in association of devotees. Allow me to enter into the pastimes of Sri Gauranga, who is my Lord, life after life. So what happened? How did Varahadev appear? We will see. So on the western banks of Ganga, there is a little bit raised like a mountain. So it's like a small mountain, little bit raised portion is there, that is called as Kulia Pahada. And but now this mountain is no longer visible. So in Satya Yuga, there used to be one Brahmana. His name was Vasudeva. He was living here and he was a great devotee of the Lord. So what happened? He wanted to have darshan of the Lord, but because the Lord was not giving darshan, he felt his life was useless. He was feeling very sad. So seeing his sincere devotion and his prayers, what happened? The Lord appeared as boar. Boar is like kola. And his body, when he appeared, was like so much jewelry. He's very tall and it's like a mountain. So his body was very tall. It was basically, his body was like this, like a big mountain. So immediately this Vasudev, he offered obeisances, and seeing him, like he became so ecstatic. He was rolling on the ground. He was crying. He became very, very ecstatic. Then the Lord said, okay, I will tell you one secret. The secret is, in all the 3 worlds, there is not even a single place that is equal to Navadvip. And this Dvip is very, very dearest to me. So I will appear in Navadvip. Then you will take part in this in my pastimes. So he will give a promise to this Vasudeva Brahmana. So, and he says that, and he will leave. After saying that, he will leave. And Vasudeva understood that the Lord will appear in Vaivashvata Manvantara, and began chanting the names of Gauranga continuously. So in this place, being a mountain, Koladvip, like a mountain, this is equal to Giri Govardhan in Vrindavan. Because the Lord's body was huge like a mountain, this is called Koladvip. And in this is the northern region. There is the forest of Bahulavan also from here. Like the forest of Bahulavan is there, and that's a place where the Lord reveals his Rasa Leela. Rasasthali is also there. Hare Krishna Vrinda. Still, next is Dameshwar temple. It's very, very, we will see the video. When we see the video, you will see like the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's original padukas are there in this temple. So we know that yesterday we have seen in Buddhimanta Khan, King Suvarna Sen, he came as Buddhimanta Khan and he performed the marriage of Vishnu Priya and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So before Lakshmi Priya left, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had his eternal consort was Lakshmi Priya, and when she left, she married Vishnu Priya. She was a daughter of Sanatana Mishra. I think she lived for 96 years. And when she was 16 is the time when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas. So very beautiful description of Vishnu Priya's and Lakshmi, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's wedding has been described, how Buddhimanta Khan arranged like lots of opulent wedding setup. And after the wedding setup, like how they came to Sanatan Mishra's house and how the wedding happened. And after that, Vishnu Priya will understand that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is going to leave very soon. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then she cries actually, like, what will I do? My life is for you only. So if you leave, what will I do? She's very devoted to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left, she would have two containers. And one container is filled with rice and other container is empty. So she will chant. After one round is over, she will put one grain. So how many rounds she will chant, those many grains would fill the other pot, and she would cook only that much. So 16 years he left at the age of 16, and she survived till 96. So basically 80 years she passed her life like this. So what happened was, I think, so she received instructions from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in a dream, if I'm not wrong, in a dream, and she gets instructions. So this deity, this wooden deity of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was carved by Nabhinandanacharya. So she carved, and even the padukas, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's original padukas, are given by him to Vishnu Priya. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself gave. And here, this temple is in the courtyard of Sanatana Mishra. So he is the father-in-law of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So usually when the son-in-laws are there, they take care with lots of awe and respect. That is there, right? So because of that, even till date, this deity is being taken care like with so much, like how they take care of son-in-law, they take care like that only. So Vamsi Vadanananda, he's said to be Krishna's flute, incarnated as him. So he took the Lord's deity from Mayapur and established him in Kulia Paharpur. After Vishnu Priya left, so he is the one who took care of the deity. He brought here and he established the worship. So if you see this deity, the hands are like this. So when we see Gauranga Mahaprabhu's deities, some hands are like this, some are like dancing and some are raised. So what dancing means, joy, he's like happy, dancing, ecstatic mood. When he raises his hand, that's he's asking us to surrender. But when he's like this, he's saying, like, he's showing his audharya, like, come, I will accept you. So this deity is having a lot of audharya, a lot of compassion. So this is the entrance of the temple, and these are his padukas. We will see in the video, like inside there are padukas. These are basically like they're saving inside. The original padukas are inside of this. These are like a box. And on Vishnu Priya Devi's appearance day, they dress him up like Vishnu Priya, because that day he's in the mood of Vishnu Priya. They dress him like that. So that's a special darshan on the appearance day of Vishnu Priya Devi. Very, very beautifully looks, right? And what happened? This Mahaprabhu's deity worship has been lost. Over the years, Vishnu Priya left, then the worship is lost. So what happened? We all know Bengal is known for Durga worship. I have lots of friends, like in Tampa, there are almost 60% of the congregation is Bengalis. So they tell how difficult it will be for them to come into Krishna consciousness, because like Durga worship is embedded in them. They cannot just give up. So Bengalis worship Durga a lot. So this king, Krishna Chandra, he came into a power, and he was a big devotee of Durga, and he was not letting like any other worship. So there was no proper temple for this Dameshwar Mahaprabhu, and he was actually going here, there, everywhere. And the priests got very worried that they might destroy him, and then they dug and they saved him under the soil. Then what happened? King of Manipur, he's Bhagya Chandra. So he is not, he's like under Krishna Chandra only, but he's in alliance with the British, King Bhagya Chandra. So he got a dream of how King Krishna Chandra is being convinced by his associates not to worship Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He gets a dream. And simultaneously, there is another Babaji called Totaram Das Babaji in Vrindavan. He is actually from South India and he went to Vrindavan to do his bhajan and katha. And he gets a dream saying that go there and prove that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Simultaneously, they get the dreams. So he comes to Navadvip and he will talk to King Krishna Chandra. He will convince him. There is a description of lots of arguments. And finally, King Krishna Chandra will get convinced that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And finally, King Krishna Chandra only gives lots of land, he donates land and he builds the temple for Rameshwar Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that is the story of this. And then very another interesting place, we have seen that Maya Devi is here, Shiva is here. So Maya Devi in Vrindavan comes as Paurnamasi, but here she is there as Praudhya Maya. So where is she? Initially they were in Antardvip. Vriddha Shiva deity is there and Praudha Maya deities are there, but they were in Antardvip. There was lot of floods, so eventually they moved here. And the speciality is, if you see this temple is in a tree, in the hollow of a tree. This big jata, a lot of branch, what do we call? I think those are called branches. I forgot. Yeah. So those just tie up like how we braid a hair, they get tied up and they form like a natural maze around the temple. So hard maze. And so this, see from here you'll see, and it's very difficult to get her darshan because she's very small and mostly they worship her with red flowers. So red and red is kind of camouflaging and very difficult to get the darshan. So this is the close-up. You can see this is the Praudhamaya temple. And she is with his consort, Shiva, Vriddha Shiva. So this is the Vriddha Shiva deity. This is in the entrance. Like as soon as you enter, it's there. Vriddha Shiva deity. And we all know the role of Paurnamasi or Yoga Maya is that she lets the friends and the associates forget that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And also she will not... suppose when we go to dhams, there are two ways of seeing. Suppose if the non-devotee goes, they will just see the street dogs, how dirty it is. They kind of comment, right? It's very dirty, tiny streets, there's a lot of poverty. So what she does is she influences the conditioned souls. Basically, she doesn't let the dham to be revealed to non-devotees. So she only reveals, if at all we have to get that love towards the dham, we should have her mercy. So she will only reveal that love, the secret of the dham to the devotees. If it is non-devotee, she will not shower her mercy. And then we will go to Jagannath Das Babaji's Samadhi. So this is the entrance and we are going. So we know Jagannath Das Babaji is the personification of material renunciation and his attachment towards the holy name. His Samadhi Mandir is there, and we know he is the one whom Bhaktivinoda Thakur took on a basket, and he's the one who identified, though he's very emaciated, very weak, his back like kind of droop, but still as soon as he goes to that place, he will kind of become so ecstatic, jumping. It's not like I think he was 119 or 15 that time when he had to go and see if that was the birthplace of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He was there. He lived for 150 years. This is the original picture of Jagannath Das Babaji. This is the original picture. Actually, later, eventually, his back kind of drooped and his eyelids kind of dropped. And it's very, very special. So many pastimes have also been said about Jagannath Das Babaji. One I remember was that Jagannath Das Babaji originally was at Surya Kund in Vrindavan. He was doing his bhajan there, but later he moved to Navadvip. And one time he had a desire to see Navadvip and he requests somebody. I don't remember the name, but somebody, he's like, who wants to assist him? So he will request him, and then when he lifts Jagannath Das Babaji, he was very heavy, but when he keeps him on the top of his head, he doesn't feel heavy, he feels him very light. Then he doesn't understand how come this is possible. Maybe he's a very special, he's very special, so he understands that he's not an ordinary person. And then they were going on the in the forest, and then he sees a tiger. So that person who is carrying Jagannath Das Babaji gets very scared. And then Jagannath Das Babaji asks him, like, Jagannath Das Babaji gets very scared, and he asks, why are you sorry, that person gets very scared, and Jagannath Das Babaji asks, why are you scared? Then he says about the tiger. Then Jagannath Das Babaji says, don't worry, he will just follow us, he will not say anything, don't worry. So as he said, the tiger didn't do anything, rather just assisted them throughout the forest path. And that is one pastime. And another was, one time Jagannath Das Babaji will ask in Vrindavan, the street cleaner, like one lady was cleaning the streets, and he will just ask her bread. And she kinds of hesitates, because I'm like a very low born, and Jagannath Das Babaji is asking me to give my bread. So she kinds of hesitates, and because he insisted, she gives. And that became a talk of town in Vrindavan. How come an elevated devotee is asking prasadam from a low born? Then Jagannath Das Babaji says that I think almost 80,000 or 8, I don't remember the number, I forgot, but he says that the Lord asked these sages and the saintly people to take birth in this holy dham of Vrindavan before he appeared. So he says that this sweeper, we are thinking as sweeper, but she took birth in Vrajadam, cleaning the Vrajadhuli. She is also a very saintly person in her previous life. So that's one pastime I heard recently. So Jagannath Das Babaji. And these are the deities that were worshipped by Jagannath Das Babaji, Gaur Gopal and Giridhari deities. And he is called as Vaishnava Sarvabhauma, the chief of Vaishnavas. And he's a topmost Rasika Vaishnava. And then we will come to Samudragar. Samudragar. So this is also again an interesting place. This place is non-different from Bahulavan forest in Braja. So what happens was, this is in the southern border of Navadvip on the banks of Ganges. Here Dwaraka Dam and Ganga Sagara, they both mix, they both meet. So what happens was, there was a king called Samudrasen, and he has a lot of desire to have darshan of Krishna. So after Yudhishthir Maharaj was established as the king, they would collect taxes. So Bhimasena would go and collect taxes in every kingdom. And if somebody is hesitating to pay tax, that means he's not accepting Yudhishthir Maharaj as the king, and they had to have a battle. So Samudrasen will think, so I have to have darshan of Krishna, that means I have to have a battle, then only Krishna will come to help. So when Bhimasena comes, he kinds of rejects. He will say, I cannot pay tax, and Bhima starts fighting, and Bhima kinds of starts losing at one point, and he calls for Krishna, hey Krishna, please help. Like that, he will call Krishna, and Krishna comes, and immediately Samudrasen stopped fighting. Then Bhima thinks, why is he stopping fighting? Till now he fought like very nicely. Why did he stop? And maybe he's scared of us, like that Bhima will think. But then Samudrasen expresses his desire that he wanted to see Krishna, and because he had the darshan of Krishna, he just reveals his heart. So that happened here, and the Lord gave darshan to him. And in this place, the ocean joins with Ganga. So what happens? Ocean will always ask Ganga, oh Jahnavi, you're very fortunate. You can see the pastimes of the Lord. And Ganga says, don't worry. You will also see the Lord when he comes to Nilachal Dham, Jagannath Puri. You are there. You're like ocean. He stays close to you. But see, she says, oh, when Lord comes to Jagannath Puri, I will see him as a sannyasa, no hair, and no, though like he wears only sannyasa dress, but you can see him in his beautiful form, his beautiful pastimes. So she has a desire to stay here. So here, Ganga mixes with the Sagara. Sagara is ocean, and Ganga comes and meets her here. She stays here because she wants to see the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this place is also called as Ganga Sagara, where Ganga and Sagara are meeting. And here, one time the ocean also gets the vision of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sitting under a tree, sitting in the center with all his associates, and that beautiful darshan is also revealed to ocean here. And this place. And then we will come to Champahati. This is the last place. This place is different from Kadiravan. In Vrindavan, Kadiravan is a place where Krishna and Balaram showed so many pastimes. So it's called Champahati because once upon a time there were a lot of Champaka flowers here. You know the Champak flowers. Every day if we see Vrindavan, Radha Shyam Sundar, Radha Madhav, nice Champak flowers they decorate. A very beautiful smell. So they grew in abundance, and Champaklata Gopi used to come here, pick the flowers and make garland and offer to Radha and Krishna. So in Kali Yuga, local, the Vaishyas, they opened a market and they used to sell the Champak flowers. So that's why it is called Champaka Hatta, marketplace of Champaka flowers. It's called as Champahati. Once river Mansi Ganga, like she was flowed here, but now we don't see anymore. And Mansi Ganga is separated. So if you see the map, after Kola Dweep, we will see Ritu Dweep. So she kind of used to separate both dweeps before, but now she's invisible. And in Satyayuga, there used to be an old man and he worshipped his deities Radha, Govinda, with these beautiful flowers. So see Champak flowers, this is Champaka, and sometimes they're white and yellow in the center. So different colors and very beautiful flowers. And then Lord Gaurasundara was very satisfied with this Brahmana, very, very satisfied. So he appeared in front of this Brahmana and he gave a promise. He said, in my future incarnation, you are going to come in my pastimes. And he came, this Brahmana, he came as a brother of Gadadhar Pandit as Vaninath Mishra. And his spiritual identity is Vrindavan is Kamalaka Gopi, Kamalaka Sakhi. So this Brahmana came, and Vaninath Vipra is none other than this Brahmana who worshipped like Gaurang Mahaprabhu with this Champak flowers, very ardent worshipper. So now let's see what happened. So we know Gauranga Mahaprabhu is very closely associated with Gadadhar Pandit because Gauranga Mahaprabhu, after he took his sannyas, his initiation, he would feel lot of separation with the Lord and is always in that mood, in that bhav, and he was longing to see the Lord. And sometimes one time he says that he asked Gadadhar Pandit, where is Lord? And then Gadadhar Pandit says he's reciting in your heart, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu he kinds of pierces to see God. And then Gadadhar Pandit will say he will very soon give his darshan. So he kinds of consoles. So Sachi Mata will say, please stay with him always. So he was always there with Gadadhar, and even after he took sannyas also, he assisted him to Puri. So Vaninath, they both, so in Champahati, there is a temple of Gaura Gadadhar. So what happened was Vaninath, one time they visit here. They just visit to Vaninath Mishra's house, and then he nicely accepts them and nicely takes care of them, offer prashadam and possible comforts he will give. But then he realized that Gauranga Mahaprabhu is going to take sannyas and go to Puri, and Gadadhar is also going to assist him. Then Vaninath Mishra will feel very painful. He's very sad, and he'll cry out like, without seeing you, like, how will I survive? I will die. Then what's the purpose of my life? Like that he will say. But then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Gadadhar Pandit will give a response, and he will say, we will be there in these wooden deities. Whenever you're offering, we will be eating. Whenever you desire, you will see us personally. So we will never leave this. We will never leave you, or we will never leave this Gaura Gadadhar deities. We will always remain here in Champahati. So they will give that assurance, and then he will feel happy, and he will also go on a parikrama with them. So this is Gaura Gadadhar deities. I think the one on the right one is Gadadhar. I think so. So even in Champahati, again, a beautiful pastime took place. Jayadev Goswami, who is the one, he's the one who wrote the Dashavatar Stotra and Geet Govinda. So Jayadev Goswami and his wife Padmavati were living in Navadvip, and he built a small hut. They were staying there. Then he started writing Dashavatar Stotra, and somehow it reached the king. The king read the Dashavatar Stotra and he fell in love with it. He asked his minister, Govardhan Acharya, who is the author of this book. And Govardhan Acharya reveals to King Lakshmana Sena that Jayadev Goswami is the author, and Lakshmana Sena immediately had a desire to meet Jayadev Goswami. So what he will do, he will remove his king dress and he will come in a normal dress to meet him. But Jayadev Goswami will understand that he's the king, and he will say, I'm so sorry, I cannot meet rich people. I cannot meet very opulent people. And he says, now that you came to know my place, I cannot stay here anymore. And in fact, the king will request, can you please come and stay in our kingdom, in my palace? But Jayadeva Goswami rejects. He says, I cannot come. And he will say, now that you have come here frequently, if you are visiting, it is not good. So I will leave this place. But the king will request, please, please, please don't leave. Go to other side of Ganges, go to this Champahati and you stay there and I will not disturb you. You please do your bhajan and you please do your katha. So, but Jayadeva Goswami was very pleased with the king and he will say, you're very sincere. So you can come anytime and you can meet me. And then the king feels very, very happy. And he will order his ministers to build a hut for Jayadeva Goswami. And Jayadeva Goswami stays there in Champahati, here in Champahati, and he began to worship Krishna. And his wife started taking good care of the deities and they started worship. But later he gets order to go to Jagannath Puri, and then they will feel very bad, like how can we leave this place? Because but then the Lord says, I love your Geet Govind very much, so you go to Nilachal Dham and every day you please recite to me, because they get the darshan of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he appeared, yes, his body color was that of Champaka, and he shone like he was like golden, lot of like jewelry, locked hair, nice curly hair, and lot of radiance. And then he gives the instruction that you have to go to Nilachal Dham, and but he says, after you leave your body, you will eternally reside here in Champahati Navadvip Dham. So they will happily go to Nilachal Dham on the order of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And the last place is Devananda Gaudiya Math is also there. So here as Devananda Pandit surrendered, he's the one who was not believing in like Vaishnavas. So he actually kind of accepted his mistake and he surrendered to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at this place, Devananda Pandit. So here this deity of Narsimhadev is there, and here Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj's deity is there, Prabhupada's deity is there, and Radha Vinod Bihari deities are there. So who is that? Yes. So after Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur entered, like he left this mortal world, his associate Bhakti Pragnana Keshav Goswami Maharaj established Gaudiya Vedanta Samiti in a rented building, and later he purchased this extensive land and then a beautiful temple he established, so that Vedanta Samiti, Gaudiya Vedanta Samiti became as Devananda Gaudiya Math. And here, as I said, we'll have all the deities of Narsimhadev, Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, Radha Vinod Bihari, Radha Madhav. So all the deities are there here. Then these are the deities of Radha Vinod Bihari. Actually, the deities Radha Madhav, the Mayapur Radha Madhav deities are said that they are in Koladvip. So that is about Koladvip today. We will see the videos if you all have some time. It's 9 o'clock. Shri Navadvip Mandala Parikrama ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, all the assembled devotees ki jai.
Thank you so much, Mataji.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Padmasaki Mataji. So,
can we stop live?